I'm Nicole, and this is Web3 TV on Phoenix Crypto TV 44.6. We're at CoinAgenda with Charles Hoskinson. He's been in the space for as long as we've been talking about it, certainly, and founder of Cardano. And you had really big news lately, right?
Yeah, the showing testnet's coming out.
Oh, actually, I was referring to your National Finals rodeo costume.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's going to be fun. It's
Yeah.
the electric cowboy outfit that we're putting together.
Yeah, okay, so that's for real?
Yes.
I thought that was a joke.
No, I do crazy things all the time.
Okay, like everybody else in crypto?
No, I have extra special crazy. Like I'm going to climb Mount Terror, for example, with Wim Hof. So that's going to be fun.
Okay.
He's the Iceman.
All right. You are a bit of a misfit even in crypto, aren't you?
Okay.
Yes?
I'm not sure how to take that.
Well, not as an insult, but your projects have tended to have just be a little bit outside,
Right.
correct? So it's really hard, isn't it? Sometimes crypto is a brutal space.
It's fun. You take the good with the bad. You take the lumps and the bumps. If you can't take the hits, don't be in the space. We just have very strong opinions at IOHK about how software should be built, how engineering should be done. And when we don't see people following those standards, we let them know. And so that sometimes gives us sharp elbows or we rub against people. But at the end of the day, we're all on the same side. Our end goal, along with most of the people who are in the space's end goal, is to see this technology win. And it doesn't really matter if it's Cardano or Ethereum or Bitcoin, as long as the principles, the underlying philosophical principles of this technology win, then we all win.
I completely agree. Well, since you don't feel like a misfit, I'm not going to offer to give you a hug and make you feel warm and fuzzy, but that was my plan. So, cryptocurrency was created for the unbanked. How do the unbanked get cryptocurrency?
So the protocols are useful for the unbanked, not necessarily cryptocurrency. This is just something. So the unbanked live in a situation, it's a bizarre paradox, where they have enormous amounts of wealth, but the wealth is illiquid. So imagine if you were born in a place that doesn't allow you to do oil exploration, and you happen to have a ranch that's sitting on a bunch of oil. And let's say you don't make a lot of money. So you have this weird thing where you own all this oil, but you can't do anything with it. It's just sitting there. It's really frustrating, right? Well, that's really the reality, societally speaking, for most people in the developing world. They have tremendous raw potential, tremendous raw assets, whether they be natural resources or real estate or whatever it could be, but they have bad social systems that prevent them from being able to take and extract that wealth and transform it into ways that make it liquid and useful for people. So the point of cryptocurrencies, the point of the blockchain industry in general, is to give people in these jurisdictions better protocols to build financial infrastructure on top of that can allow these things to get liquidity. And I'll give you a few great examples of this. So let's say you have this amazing business, you're making lots of cash in Ethiopia. And you say, wow, I've grown and I've grown and I've grown, but you need to get a loan, or you want to sell some of the business to be able to raise capital like you would do in the United States, for example, with venture capital. So then you go to investors and you say, hey, give me some money. Well, what if you don't have a financial marketplace? What if they can't get liquidity? What if there's no channel to actually move the money, or moving the money alone takes 15% of the overall transaction? This is reality that 3 billion people live in right now, all across the world. So they may have great ideas, they may be great entrepreneurs, they may be really killing it and doing amazing things. Well, it could be Uber for vegetables, who knows? They've done great things, but they just can't get out of that rut. And also the other thing is asset protection is quite difficult. So let's say you have all these farms, you've done all this great work, but then a monsoon happens or a drought happens, and it all gets wiped out, or a fire happens. Well, in America we have things like insurance, for example. Who do you buy your insurance policies from in countries where they don't have marketplaces for that? So you might be doing well year one, but you can't mitigate your risk. So the point of our field is to give tools to build these products, whether they be insurance products or lending products, remittance systems, or different capital markets, so that entrepreneurs and basically everyday people in these jurisdictions will be able to actually solve real problems. So you asked a very particular question of, well, how do they get the tokens? Well, in some cases they don't even need one. For example, the state can actually issue its own currency, or they can just tokenize utilities like M-Pesa has been very successful. That's cell phone minutes that have been tokenized in Africa. And it's almost like a currency there. People actually accept cell phone minutes for products and services. So some of it can be top-down, and some of it can be bottom-up, where it just comes as a market effect. And it can be local. They can be currencies you've never heard of or never used, but they can be running on that infrastructure, whether it be Ethereum or Cardano. And then you get some guarantees that it's immutable and trustless and auditable, and that people can't come and take your stuff or shut the system down or so forth, which is what you need for certainty and stability.
All right, so the infrastructure is more what's for the people, the unbanked. All right, so blockchain.
Yeah, but blockchain, as they say, blockchain or Bitcoin or this or crypto, the price of admission to use a public system is the underlying token. So if you want to write a smart contract on Ethereum, you need Ether. If you want to write a smart contract on Cardano, you need ADA. So it's more of a question of, first, does the platform actually provide a compelling piece of infrastructure to solve the problems people care about, whether they be authentication or supply chain or what have you. And then the token is basically the unit that allows you to do that. So just like a subscription to Amazon Web Services or Rackspace allows you to write an application and deploy it to the web. Or you have to go to Google to get permission to get on Google Play, or Apple to get on iOS or something like that. So that's basically the gatekeeper and the moderator for people, how they use the system, and it's all bundled together. But the actual application that's constructed is what changes those lines. And the technology should fade and take back. The users of that application don't necessarily need to have a cryptocurrency for that application to be successful.
Okay, cool. So one of those things that you were just talking about was like verifying authenticity on the blockchain, and that's something that you had a recent announcement with New Balance,
that was
right?
a lot of fun, yeah.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah, this is great. It's just so easy to understand. People counterfeit stuff, and so when you buy expensive things, whether it be a Blue Watch or a Rolex or be a Chanel bag, you always wonder, is it real or is it not real? New Balance, I think, confiscated like 25 million shoes or something like that last year. And you always wonder. You always wonder. You say, wow, if they found 25 million fakes, then how many fakes actually got through, right? Probably an order of magnitude. It's almost like the cockroach effect. If you see one in the kitchen, there's more than just one, right? And so it's a huge problem. And if they don't solve that problem, it hurts their brand, it hurts the resale value, it hurts secondary markets. So what they wanted to do was do an experiment where they take a high-value shoe, in this case the Kawhi Leonard line that they put a lot of money and effort into, and we paired it with a great blockchain-based authentication system. But the beauty of this system is that the consumer doesn't have to own data or know anything about Cardano or cryptocurrencies to use it. From their perspective, it's just a little card, and it's a certificate of authenticity, and they tap it on their phone and enter some data in, and it pairs it to the shoes. So I was actually in Los Angeles for the launch of the shoe at the New Balance store, and I saw real time all these sneakerheads come on in, know nothing of crypto, they never owned Bitcoin, know nothing of our space, and yet they were using the system. And that's the magic, and that's when you know you've actually gotten it right.
I would do that.
Okay, so you've actually been to the New Balance factory?
I've been to New Balance store in Los Angeles. And the great part about our solution is it doesn't require integration into the supply chain. It can be put at the end of the supply chain.
At the end of this, so the user?
Yeah, right at the point of sale. So basically where the store gets the boxes, they can actually put the cards in the boxes and pair them together. So they assume that the shoes are real that are being shipped to their store because they have all kinds of anti-counterfeiting in that supply chain. And then it's a last mile problem of how do you get the certificate of authenticity there. You can either put it somewhere in the supply chain, in which case you may not have control over it, or you can put it at your retail stores, and they do it at the retail stores.
So will you ask New Balance to undiscontinue my favorite sneakers?
Which one?
Leadvilles. Yeah.
Those were nice sneakers.
Oh, they were the best.
They really are. Are you a sneakerhead as well?
Yeah, I am. I wear Jordan, but like the Leadvilles, those were not fashion sneakers. Those were my favorite running shoes.
What do you think of the new Nikes with the little holes?
Oh, I've seen them, but I haven't tried them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I knew nothing of sneakers until this contract, and I spent 9 years getting a crash course in the history of sneakers. It's a great community, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I like them for fashion and function. All right, cool. Well, one more question. Oh, actually, I want to ask you 2 more questions. Did I forget anything?
Well, IOHK is a great company. Cardano is the best product. No, I mean, in general, these are always fun discussions because we're trying to predict the future. Right now, it's a game of where do we want to go in 20%? We have all these big problems we're trying to solve. How do we build a global economy? How do we solve global warming? How do we build the right government so we're not always in deadlock? And as we grow more complicated, these just get harder and harder to solve. Our industry is all about trying to solve these problems in a way that doesn't put somebody in charge. Because historically, how people have solved these things is we have a big war, somebody wins it, whoever wins it gets to decide. So America won World War II, so everybody's using our banking system, that's dollars, the world reserve currency, and so forth. Well, we don't really want to have another conflict of that scale. So in lieu of that, how do we get the same benefit of consolidation and standardization, people agreeing to follow certain things, but not do it with a central authority controlling it? So that's why I'm in this space. It's more than money. It's we get to think of everything from voting systems to supply chain systems. How should property work? How should identity work? How much privacy should you have? You know, these types of things. And that's so much fun.
Ideology
Exactly.
and not just money.
It's about philosophy, right? And you're building protocols with philosophy. They actually take a position on society and how society should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay with that.
All right, so you're a man who likes to take a lot of selfies. Do you want to take one with me?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
They're taking a selfie on camera.
Yep.
I love it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, you're actually a selfie master.
He really is good at
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
I agree. Thank you
Cheers.
so much for doing this. Charles Hoskinson, Web3 TV. We'll be back.
Cheers.